Donald Trump suffered another massive loss in court recently, just a couple days before Christmas last week, when a judge, a federal judge down here in the state of Florida, one that Donald Trump has run afoul of many times, Judge Donald Middlebrooks, told Donald Trump that his quest to prevent New York Attorney General Letitia James from accessing the files and transaction records from the Donald J. Trump Revocable Trust can't go forward. Here's what happened. Many months ago, as we all know, Letitia James petitioned the court successfully to get a monitor for all of the transactions for the Donald J. Trump Corporation. At the same time, she had also filed a petition successfully once again to get her hands on the records. She had subpoenaed, basically, the records for the Donald J. Trump Revocable Trust, which is separate from the Donald J. Trump Corporation. But as part of her investigation, she says, look, I've got the documents from the company. I need the documents, the transactions from the trust as well. Well, Donald Trump has been fighting to prevent her from getting the records from the trust, just like he fought to prevent her from getting the records for his company. And Donald J. Trump recently filed a lawsuit in the state of Florida, not in New York, saying, hey, listen, we know the courts in New York have said that she can have all of this from the trust. So we're hoping that down here in the state of Florida, you're going to abide by the privacy laws of Florida and not let her have these things. And Judge Middlebrooks, who has already thrown out multiple lawsuits against Donald Trump, including his ill-fated lawsuit against Hillary Clinton, threw this one out as well and said, listen, the most important thing is that the courts in New York have already said she can have these documents. And we do not have the authority to overturn the other court's ruling. We're not a higher court. You just brought it to a different court. You can't even do that, by the way, so I'm throwing this out. But Judge Middlebrooks, being a fair guy, also pointed out the legal aspects of it. He's like, listen, aside from the fact that we don't have jurisdiction to even do this, let me go ahead and point out 4 facts about Letitia James's lawsuit. So he laid out the 4 facts, basically said everything she has presented does give reason, does give cause for her to have access to this trust. You have not been able to refute any of the 4 points she has made. Therefore, even if I did have jurisdiction, I'm not going to be able to rule in favor of you because you don't have a case. Which, by the way, is what we typically see with Donald Trump's lawsuits. He files them to prevent these things from happening, but he never really has a real legal argument as to why they can't happen. He's just trying to delay, and eventually hope that maybe they'll just give up, I guess. But that hasn't been a winning legal strategy for him. Sure, it's delayed things by years in some instances, but for pretty much all of these cases now, Donald Trump is out of options. He can't delay them anymore. And this ruling last week by Middlebrooks is just another example of how the clock is running out for Donald Trump. This is Hattie. Hattie wants to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a favor and subscribe.